Hello, my name is George Toscano, and today I will be talking about a major way that you can get ahead in life. I am a college student going into my second year, and recently I have learned the importance of money management, and I'm currently acting on that. I believe that students should learn how to manage their money sooner rather than later. Today I will be talking to you about how college students are not the most responsible with how they spend their money, and how to start good money spending habits, and how learning good money habits now will help you in your future. As a college student going into my sophomore year, last year I definitely made some quite irresponsible decisions with how I spent my money. Usually at first, this is how it is for most people. College students are not the best at making decisions with their money. This is because for most people, it's their first time on their own and having a lot more expenses. And secondly, it's hard to break bad habits from younger years. So when it comes to living on your own and having more expenses, some college expenses are what you may expect, are that of tuition, food, housing, and gas. These are usually what people might think of, but some unexpected expenses are that of spontaneous entertainment, parking, Greek life, life's twists and turns, and programs you might want to be a part of. This comes from Credit Karma. Here you can start to see how, aside from what you might think at first, college can be quite more expensive with the more things you do, or the more that things just might pop up. Furthermore, a lot of college students have bad habits when it comes to spending money. These habits can include not differentiating wants from needs, spending more money than you should, and making unnecessary purchases. This comes from newsrooms.edu. A lot of this can come from peer pressure, and I'm not saying that your friends are trying to affect you negatively, but I'm saying on a simple example is your friends going out to eat and inviting you, and even though you probably shouldn't because you don't have the money to, you say yes anyway. That's just an example of peer pressure, how it can be innocent, but also impacts you. Additionally, it's hard to break out of these bad habits. So when growing up, a lot of people depend on their parents for nearly everything when it comes to finances, and that's understandable, right? You're young, but this includes meals, sports, schools, electronics, a place to stay, car payments eventually. Depending too much on your parents and not allowing yourself to grow up and mature to be more independent can last for years because it's an easy way to live. According to a Reg survey, they found that 79% of parents financially support their children aged 18 to 34 at least occasionally. And a CNBC survey found that 30% of teens don't believe that they'll be independent on their own until at least age 30. Bad habits such as depending too much on your parents is easy to fall into because it takes a lot of weight off your shoulders. Though it may be difficult, once you break free from all these bad habits, it is time to replace them with some good ones. Budgeting and setting a savings goal are two of the easiest ways to help establish good money spending habits. Budgeting is the more common one, and is how many people manage their money. It is the process of creating a plan to spend your money. That spending plan is called a budget. That is from mymoneycoach.com. A budget can seem complicated, but if you break it down, it's actually easier if you put it into simple steps. Firstly, calculate your income, then know your weekly or monthly expenses or needs that you know you'll be spending money on, and then set some money aside for wants. This should be less than your needs. And then put some money into savings or emergency accounts. That comes from Bank of America. A simple example of budgets actually working is from Intuit, where they found that 64% of households saying that they would spend an average of $400 a month from well-prepared savings or emergency accounts on things that were not expected. If they hadn't done this and hadn't prepared for this, it's hard to come up with that kind of money off the bat, or just kind of out of nowhere. Not so commonly, setting a personal savings goal can be beneficial. Aside from personal goals, a savings goal can help encourage you even further. It is planned for something in the future that you would like to save money towards. This can be a want or a large need, but either way, the point is to steadily grow money to achieve that goal. Savings goals not only make you feel good when you achieve them, but they also encourage you to think of the bigger picture and recognize that there are ways to achieve your goals even if it takes longer than you might expect. Initially, yeah. This doesn't only apply to money management, but to life as well. After breaking free from these bad habits and starting good ones, you are better prepared for the world after college. In the future, you will thank yourself for learning how to manage money sooner rather than later. Not changing bad money habits sets you up for troubles ahead, and on the flip side, changing money habits now will help you going forward. Keeping bad money habits further into adulthood will lead to more problems as you gain more responsibility and more complicated expenses. Aside from more expenses, saving money and making sure you put money aside for things is a staple in trying to move forward in life. Like I was saying with the savings goals, in adulthood, think savings goals as in homes, cars, affordability of trying to raise a child, things like that. And when you don't have that, and when you aren't prepared for that, life can be a big game of catch up. And years on end of this, it can be a very stressful and worrying way to live. However, changing your money habits now sets you up going forward. This will better prepare you for the difficulties of adulthood financially. Think of every little thing your parents have ever spent on it. You can imagine that life gets quite expensive. And when you aren't prepared for it, when you are prepared for it, life is just that much easier, and you can focus on things that are more important. Furthermore, you will have a boost coming out of college. So what I mean by this is, if you change your money habits now, say that you are like me and you work a low-paying job that you budget to have $500 at the end of each month. By the end of college, you have $20K to start your life with a degree, moving forward and such. As you can see, replacing bad habits with good ones have a lasting impact and is very important. College students are not the best when it comes to money. However, breaking these bad habits and learning good ones will help you in the future. Applying to almost any bad habit, they are difficult to break. Bad money spending habits doesn't have to affect you going into the future if you really apply yourself and not only breaking them, but following through with good money management skills in the future.